Hey, again, it's me, Michael, your favorite agile thought provoker. And in my series on team models, I'm going to address Patrick Lencioni's 5 dysfunctions of a team. My biggest issue with this model is the negative psychological impact of arranging the name of a model around dysfunctions. Even though I think that in theory it's right, because if we have issues with the points that are the focus of this model, then we will have issues in a team, even though on the other hand, there's not necessarily a guarantee that if we clear all of those 5 dysfunctions, that we will have a successful high-performing team. But still, it's a good way to initiate a discussion, and as I mentioned in another video already, all models are wrong, some are useful. This one is also a good starter for discussion, so let's get around to it. What Lencioni does is he sets up a pyramid from the bottom to the top. For simplicity reasons, I'll not draw the pyramid until later. Bottom level is an absence of trust. If we don't have trust, most other things we'll do will be ineffective. Just because even we have good intentions, like we discussed that we're going to do it this or that way, when we can't trust each other that we'll actually do it this or that way, then we're not going to get anywhere. So we need to have at least a decent basis of trust before we can dig into what we are going to do and how we're going to do it, in which order we're going to do it, what's important and what's not. The second level is the fear of conflict. I have seen this personally in so many teams that people, they have some issues, like they don't know how to write proper unit tests, but they just don't talk about it because they don't want to get into the conflict situation, or they feel afraid to be labeled as unprofessional, so they rather hide it, and that one makes it so difficult to make progress as a team. Another conflict that is very common in organization is the conflict between manager and team. And so what does the team do? They want to be left in peace and not get into open confrontation with management, because they think that management will always win by default. So they rather not say anything, and they accumulate so many problems under the surface until it's just unbearable. The product doesn't get done, deadlines aren't met, customers are unhappy, management has no idea what's going on. So because we were not courageous enough to openly lead this conflict to a positive solution. But it's quite important to educate your team that conflict is okay. Actually, conflict is good because it shows that we have different understanding, different perspectives, and we need to reconcile them in a way that we can move forward together. And moving forward brings us to the third step of the pyramid in Lencioni's model, which is commitment. Once we agreed to go a certain direction, this agreement should be taken into action with the best possible way that we can do as a team. If we agree as a team to get this done, then we should try everything that we can do in order to actually get it done and not make excuses, not slack or whatever, because once that happens, we jump all the way down here. But we're not committed, other members of the team and even those outside the team will lose trust in the team. They will generate conflict. So this one needs to be stable as soon as we can. And from there, we get to what does commitment mean in practice? It means we're accountable. That means that we take the accountability for the things that we decided to do, and we say you can measure us on how we do things, on what we do, on what comes out of what we do. And we are not afraid, we do not avoid our accountability that we have. The company is investing money into us as a team, and we know this, we understand this, and we want to bear this responsibility well. So we are accountable for our action. So many times in the teams, I have discussions like, I didn't write this code like that. Why not? Because it wasn't specified. Okay, so all of a sudden it was the analyst's fault for not giving the developer the specification to write it like that. But the fault isn't even the point. The point is that we didn't produce the value for the customer. And as a team, we should be accountable to say, I know this is not going to work. I'm going to chat with the analyst. I'm going to find a solution. And we're going to do the thing that is right for our product, because I care and I'm personally accountable for everything produced by the team, not just for the things that are on my desk. That's quite important, because if we don't do that, we play this my job is done game, we're not going to get anywhere, because we're just going to fight within the team, and as soon as we have this kind of fighting, whoop, all the way down to the bottom. Management's not going to trust us, we are not going to trust each other, so we can go full cycle back. Taking accountability is very important. And the final level in the model of Lencioni is the inattention to results. And from there we can draw the pyramid. When we do produce results as a team, we are successful as a team, because the outcome that we want to generate is the most important thing. It doesn't really matter what we do or how we do things until we create results. We need to care that our results are good, exciting, valuable, and meaningful. If we just say, I'm doing my job and I'm going home at 5 o'clock in the evening because I did my 8 hours, I am not necessarily creating value for the organization. And we will also come back to this one in other contexts, that when we don't have the why answered, why is it important that we produce those results? Why are those results important for the organization? Why does it matter what I do? Why should I take accountability? Then again, we're wasting the company's money, and the company will not be happy with what we do. And what will be the ultimate consequence? Lack of trust. Management's not going to trust us if we cannot produce the results that are being expected from the team. So we need to have this attention to results. We need to take our accountability. We need to commit to what we do. We need to be able and willing to face the conflict, carry it to a solution, and to generate and maintain the trust that we have. That's it for Lencioni's model. One very interesting thing about Lencioni's model is that it's very, very common and popular in the Agile community, even though it doesn't answer at all how are we going to work together. Do we need working agreements or whatever? This one is basically implied in the commitments and conflicts. So this model needs quite a bit of thought in order to put into action to generate the team growth that we may be looking for. So that's my take on the Lencioni's 5 dysfunctions of a team. Hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like, and if you didn't already, leave a subscribe below, because there's more videos going to come up. Enjoy and have a good one.